Hi, in this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to create charts using ASP.NET 5 and ChartJS. For those who doesn't know what is ChartJS, ChartJS is a JavaScript library that allows us to create beautiful charts, and as you can see here in the official website of ChartJS, this library allows to create multiple form of charts. You can take a look at their website and see the documentation, etc. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I've created a little MVC application divided in multiple tiers. So as you can see here, the data access layer, the main layer, the service layer, and the presentation layer, which is an MVC application, of course. And we will be working with a simple entity, which is the agent entity, which contains an ID which is automatically generated, the full name, and an age. So our graph will be a bar chart. That means the vertical one, this vertical bars, that will show the user the repetition of the age of the agent. That means he will show us, for example, we have 50 agent that have the age of 24, for example, 3 of agent of that have the age of 15, etc. So the first thing that we need to do is to install the chart.js, to add the chart.js script file to our MVC project. So right click on your MVC projects, go to manage NuGet packages, go to browse, and add the chart.js script file. So it is the final, choose the final, the latest version, which is the 2.6.0. install it. Okay, and then under as you can see, under the inside our MVC project, I've created the agent controller. So here I've created the new agent action that allows us to create a new agent and save it to my SQL Server database. So this action and its view are just for testing purpose. I made it simple as I can. So this is not we are not interested today in this how to create object and how to divide our application in multiple tiers. So this tutorial is about how to integrate chart.js with MVC projects and how to display chart from the based on data from SQL Server through MVC application. So after adding the chart.js script file, I'm going to add a new action. I'm gonna call it public action result. I'm gonna call it dashboard. Okay, so this one will return a view, of course. And then I'm going to add the view that corresponds to this section. So add view, MVC view. We're just gonna call it dashboard like that without model. Okay, and hit. So this is our view. Let's get rid of this code here. Let's add the necessary HTML code. So HTML, the head tag, and final the body tag. And here now we are going to add the necessary JavaScript files. So under scripts, so as you can see here, the JavaScript file added after installing the chart.js scripts. So let's add the necessary scripts to our HTML file. So let's add chart.js. You can add chart.js or the chart.main.js. So this is the minified version, the compressed one. So I'm going to add this file. I'm going to add jQuery, I think. I don't think that I'm going to need it. And finally, I'm going to add bootstrap. I think I'm going to add some styling, etc. And I will add bootstrap.main.css. Okay, so this is basically this one is the one required to use the chart.js charts inside your view. So after adding the scripts, I'm going to add the div that will contain our chart. So I'm going to create a new div here. I'm gonna to give it an ID. So ID chart container. Inside this div, I'm going to create a canvas tag, and this one I'm gonna give it an ID of bar chart. Let me just change that. So this is the canvas ID that in which will be displayed our chart. And I think that's all for the HTML, etc. And I'm just gonna add some styling to the div, because the canvas, the chart that will be displayed inside our view will take the dimensions of the div that contains it. So for example, if my div here, the chart container div, is 400 by 400, so our chart will be 400 by 400. So here inside the head tag, I'm going to add the style tag. I'm going to chart container. So the width would be 400 pixel, height 400 pixel 2, border border 1 pixel, solid, and the color will be just like that. And finally the padding will be of 1 pixel. And let's add a border radius of 4 pixels. And that's it for the styling for the div that will contain our chart. Okay, so now after adding the styling for it, we are going to jump right back to the controller and add the necessary code to retrieve the data from our database, and we will filter the data and manipulate it so we can inject that data to the our chart. So here, as you can see, I injected a service here inside the constructor of my controller, so using the dependency injection. So this service here contains the logic that will bring or retrieve the data from my database. So here I'm going to use the service object. Before that, I'm going to create a variable. I'm gonna call it list. So service dot get all. So the get all method is inside the service. Okay, after that I'm going to create a list that of ints. So I'm gonna call it repartition. New list of ints. And then I'm going to create a new variable, I'm gonna call it ages, that will contain, so this variable ages will contain the distinct ages that contained inside our database. For example, let's say that I have, for example, let me show you. So here this is the database to which my application is connected. So as yes, if you take a look at the agent table, so let's wait for visual for this one too. So as you can see, I have some records here. So this variable ages will contain the distinct value of ages. For example, let's say it will contain, for example, I have 26 value, the value 19, the value 35, and 22. So this variable ages will contain the categories of ages. So the categories are 34, 29, 22, and 15. So ages will contain, so list.select. So here I am selecting the distinct ages from my database. So select.x dot age dot distinct, and then so I'm going to use the for each loop. So for item in ages, so the repetition, the list dot add, so list dot count is equal, sorry, so it's equal to item for rep, and after that I'm going to put the result of this two operations. So I'm going to put the ages values and the repetition values inside two viewbacks object, so I can use them inside my view. So viewback dot ages, for example, I will give it age, sorry, so, and the second one is viewback dot repetitions, and that's all for the work inside our controller. Now we will jump to the view, so the dashboard view, and now we are going to write some JavaScript code to create our chart, etc. So the first thing we need to do is to convert the two values, the view by the ages and rep, those two lists of values, we need to convert them to a JavaScript value. So to do that, I'm going to create two so for the first thing is to create the script tag. So I'm going to create new variable. I'm gonna call it rep array. So let's see if html.raw. So JSON dot encode, and here I'm going to write view viewbag dot rep, and the second variable, it will be the same thing here. So html.raw So JSON dot dot encode, and it will be the same thing. View bag dot ages. So this is how we get the values and convert them to JavaScript arrays here. So now I'm going to create an object that will contain that will reference to the chart, the canvas here. So I'm going to create a selector, a Java object, a JavaScript object that will contain that reference to this tag here. So var ctx and here and now I'm going to create a bar chart object. So bar chart new chart. I'm going to pass this variable here, which reference to the canvas tag here, which will contain our chart, and then I'm going to open an object here, and let's create let's add the necessary data that will help us to create our chart. So the first one, the first line to add is the line that will allow us to precise the type of our chart. So in this example, I'm going to create a bar chart. So to do that, all you need to do is to type and then the bar keyword. Make sure it is in lowercase, not in uppercase. Then data, labels. So I'm not going to explain how to use ChartJS, because this tutorial is not about ChartJS and it's not about MVC, it's not about end-tier application, but it's about how to use ChartJS with ASP.NET MVC. So for those who does not know how to create charts, etc., then all you need to do is to visit the ChartJS official website and check. There is a lot of documentation and a lot of examples that will allow you to understand how things works. So now I'm going to continue creating our chart. So labels. So to labels here represents the values that will appear in the x-axis. So here the labels. So here labels here will contain will be represented by the values that represent each age that exists inside our database. So here the value will be ages. So here I'm just gonna type ages, comma followed by commas, then data sets, and this one would be an array. So which with the brackets and data sets. Make sure it's to add the s in the end. So label, and this label will be the label of the chart. I'm going to give it simple name. So bar chart example with bar chart example only. Then I have to add the comma, data, So data sets label data, all those are keywords. You must type them like that. So I am not, those are not variable, they are keyword. You have to type them like that. You have to follow the rules. So here the data is represents the values that will construct our chart. That means the number of persons that have the X age will be stored in this property here. So here I'm going to pass the second variable, which is rep array, and then we come to the styling portion of the configuration. So we have background color. So I will stop the video here and type the colors and the styling for the chart, and then I will continue the video. Okay, so here uh, I uh, I added the background color for each bar. So here we will have 3 bars, and if I add if another bar is added dynamically, so it will have a random color. For now I added three color for each 3 colors for the bars inside the chart, and here is the border color, so the border of each bar in the chart. And finally, this is the border width, so the width of the border of the bars inside the chart. So now this is the last step. I'm going to add some options to our chart. So all you need to write is options. So here the first one is maintain aspect ratio. So I'm gonna set it to false. The second one is scales to an object. So here x axis. I'm going to explain this x scales and axis. Just I have to finish writing the code. So like this. So x 2 point and begin at 0. Let's set to true. Comma, and finally legend. So display false, and comma here. I think I need to edit here. And like that, I think we are done with the code. Let's now test this piece of code here, and let's see the result. I will rebuild my solution, and I'm going to open the dashboard for view. Maybe I have made a mistake. Let's test this one and see the result. But let me explain the code here. So scales x-axis ticks begin at 0. That means the origin of the axis, the x and y, will start by with 0. So if I do not precise this one, it will start with the most a little value inside your arrays, those arrays here, those 2 values. So let me run this code and let's see together the result. So as you can see here, it displays the result based the chart based on the values from the database. So if we take a look at our SQL our table, we have one, two, we have two, I think we have three agent with that have 26 years old. So as you can see, we have here three people that have age of 26 with people of that have 19 years old. We have four. So if you take a look at our table, we have one, two, three, and four. We have four people that have 19 that are 19 years old, and finally 34. We have five people that have the age of 34. So let's now try to add a value. We have here I think the option that I specify that I added to my chart contain a mistake, because the origin of the axis will start with 2. So let me take a look here. Console. I knew that I have made a mistake. So let's see the error. So unable to parse color from string. That's not a problem. The problem is with that color. So let me check it again. 74. Okay, so I resolved the problem. It was a problem in the code here where I forgot to add a closing curly braces. So here the problem is resolved. So, and as you can see, the origin of the axis is from 0, and it displays the result based on the values saved inside my database. So now I'm going to add another record inside my database, and I'm going to add another agent with 22 years old. I'm going to refresh this page and see if the results here will change. So let's go to new agent. I'm going to add a new agent that have a 22 years old, and let's see if it increases with 1 here. So I'm gonna call it, for example, um, and it has 22 years old. So the user was saved to my database. Now here I'm going to refresh my the page, and as you can see, the chart was updated, and you can do it otherwise. You can use, for example, Signal R to create dynamically updated data charts, or you can use jQuery and Ajax to refresh your chart periodically. There is a lot of things to do. This tutorial is just for beginner, for users who never used but just want to use chart.js with ASP.NET MVC. You can dive deeper and do more advanced things. So that's all for this tutorial today. I hope you like this tutorial. So if you like this tutorial, hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.